You ever have someone look you in the eye and say they love you, only to walk away the moment someone richer shows up? That's what happened to me. But I didn't beg. I didn't chase. I built. And when she came back, she didn't find the same man she left. My name is Ryan, and this is the story of how I turned heartbreak into a multi-million-dollar empire and made her regret every choice she made. It all started in a small town where dreams were big but opportunities were scarce. I met Lisa in college. She was everything I ever wanted: smart, beautiful, and ambitious. We were inseparable, planning our future together, sharing dreams of success and happiness. After graduation, I struggled to find a job in my field, while Lisa landed a position at a prestigious firm. The disparity in our careers began to strain our relationship. I took up odd jobs to make ends meet, always believing that my big break was just around the corner. One day, Lisa sat me down and said she couldn't wait for me to figure things out anymore. She had met someone at her firm, a senior executive with wealth and status. She chose the security of his bank account over the uncertainty of my dreams. I was devastated, but I didn't let it break me. Instead, I used the pain as fuel to work harder. I immersed myself in learning everything about tech startups, coding, and business management. I spent countless nights developing an app that would revolutionize the way people manage their personal finances. After months of hard work, I launched the app, and it quickly gained traction. Investors took notice, and soon, I secured funding to expand the business. Within 2 years, my company was valued at over $10 million. Then, out of the blue, Lisa reached out to me. She had heard about my success and wanted to catch up. Curious, I agreed to meet her. She apologized for leaving me and said she had made a mistake. She claimed that her relationship with the executive had ended and that she realized she still loved me. But I saw through her facade. She was drawn to my success, not to me. I decided to play along, inviting her to a company event where I was the keynote speaker. In front of hundreds of attendees, I shared my journey, emphasizing the importance of resilience and staying true to one's dreams. I concluded by thanking the people who believed in me and pointedly mentioned those who didn't. Lisa's face turned red as she realized I was referring to her. After the event, I told her that I had moved on and that there was no place for her in my life anymore. She left in tears, and I felt a sense of closure. I had transformed my pain into success and refused to let someone who once doubted me share in the rewards. This experience taught me that true love supports and believes in you, even during the toughest times. After walking away from Lisa that night, I thought that chapter of my life was fully closed. But life has a strange way of testing your resolve, especially when you least expect it, because just 3 weeks later, I received an invitation to speak at a national tech conference in LA, and to my surprise, Lisa was also listed as a panelist, only this time. Not as someone from the corporate world, but representing a small freelance consultancy she had apparently started after her breakup with the wealthy executive she left me for. And as awkward as it sounds, we both ended up seated at the same VIP dinner table the night before the conference, pretending like we weren't surprised to see each other, except I noticed something different. Her confidence was cracked, her charm a little forced, and her eyes kept darting toward me like she was hoping for a moment to talk alone. But I wasn't interested in conversations filled with old apologies and masked regrets, so I stayed polite, professional, and distant, letting my current reality speak louder than any speech she could give. And just when I thought the night couldn't get any weirder, her current business partner, whom she introduced as just a friend helping with growth, started pitching a collaboration idea between their firm and my company, clearly unaware of our history, suggesting that a joint venture could be mutually beneficial and that Ryan seemed like someone who valued second chances, a comment that made Lisa visibly cringed while I gave him a polite smile and said I'd think about it, then changed the subject, because honestly, nothing about their pitch felt compelling and everything about it felt like a desperate attempt to latch onto my success. But I didn't want to embarrass anyone, yet, so I kept things cool and decided I'd let my team handle any follow-up conversations with a firm, professional no. But the next day at the actual conference, Lisa tried to corner me after my talk. This time, dropping the business mask and going full nostalgia mode, bringing up how I used to talk about building something big and how she always knew I had it in me. And I had to stop her right there and ask, "Then why'd you leave when things got tough?" And she froze, unable to answer honestly, which made it clear this wasn't about love or regrets, it was about access, about hoping I still had a soft spot for her, and that maybe I'd offer her a shortcut back into the kind of life she left me to chase. But here's the truth. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't bitter. And I didn't want revenge in the traditional sense. I wanted clarity, and I already had it. So I looked her in the eye and said, "Lisa, I don't blame you for choosing what you thought was best. But don't expect me to forget that when you had to choose between love and luxury, you didn't hesitate." Then I walked away, leaving her standing there in the middle of a crowded hallway surrounded by people taking selfies with me. People who supported me when I had nothing. People who showed up when she walked away. And later that week, her company's proposal was officially rejected by my board with a standard 2-line email that ended with, "We're not interested at this time." And I never heard from her again after that. But what I did hear, through mutual friends, was that she was slowly shutting down her consultancy and looking for new opportunities. While I was expanding my startup into 2 new countries and landing a Fortune 500 partnership, proving that sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't making someone feel pain. It's letting them see the life they could have had if they just stayed when things were hard and grown with you instead of abandoning the journey mid. Climb. After the conference, my life continued accelerating at a pace I couldn't have imagined even a year ago, with new deals, new investors, and a growing team that believed in the vision I had built from scratch. But deep down, a quiet part of me still replayed moments from the past, not because I missed Lisa, but because I wanted to understand how people so close to us can turn into strangers so quickly. And that quiet curiosity found its answer one crisp autumn morning when I received an anonymous message on LinkedIn from someone claiming to be Lisa's old assistant, telling me that Lisa's consultancy had officially closed and that she'd moved back in with her parents, struggling to make rent, applying for jobs in cities where nobody remembered her name. And while I didn't revel in her fall, I also didn't pity it, because every decision has consequences, and she had made hers with full clarity, choosing immediate comfort over long-term faith. And by the time she realized the mistake, the train had already left the station and I was never looking back. But just when I thought her chapter was over, life threw in one last unexpected twist, because 6 months later, while attending a global entrepreneurs summit in Singapore, I was being interviewed on stage by a famous business journalist when she asked, "What's the biggest lesson you've learned about loyalty on your rise to success?" And without hesitation, I said, "Loyalty isn't tested when you have everything. It's tested when you have nothing." And the audience applauded, some even standing up, and I could feel that moment land with power, like the universe was stamping a full circle seal on my journey. But the real full circle came later that night at the hotel lobby, when I saw Lisa again, sitting alone at the bar, wearing a name tag that said, "Freelancer, Consultant." And for a second, we locked eyes, both of us, aware that the world had changed, and so had we. And when she gave me a weak smile, I simply nodded and walked past her, not out of malice, but because some people are meant to stay in your past so they don't pollute your future. And that's when I realized the real win wasn't the millions in the bank or the global company I had built. It was knowing that I didn't let bitterness turn me cold, and that I didn't need revenge to prove anything, because the best revenge had already happened. I succeeded without her, I healed without her, and I rose without needing to destroy her. And that kind of peace? That's something money or apologies can't buy. So to anyone watching this, remember, don't ever let someone else's doubt define your value. Don't ever let their betrayal stop your progress, because the ones who leave you when you're down don't deserve to stand next to you when you're winning. And the life you build from the ashes of heartbreak can shine brighter than anything they ever imagined. So if you've been hurt, rejected, or left behind, don't waste your energy proving them wrong. Just prove yourself right, and I promise you, they'll hear your success louder than any words you could ever say. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and tap the bell so you never miss another epic story of karma, success, and sweet, sweet revenge. Because trust me, this is just the beginning.